Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, the one thing that you have to concede about the Ibrahim Magu situation is that it has certainly opened up a can of worms within the Nigerian hierarchy, especially the elite society. Guys, I bring you this. Falana denies receiving 28 million naira from Magu. So the Falana that we're talking about, of course, is that our esteemed SAN, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, the human rights activist. His name is now being drawn into the Ibrahim saga, as again the headline, Falana denies receiving 28 million naira from Magu. So now let's now see exactly how this is being described. Human rights lawyer Mr. Femi Falana, SAN, has denied receiving 28 million naira from the suspended acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Mr. Ibrahim Magu, who is being investigated for corruption allegations by a special presidential panel. Falana, in a pre-action letter signed by his lawyer Adeyinka Olumide Fuseka, SAN, demanded a retraction of the claim by a newspaper which published the online story. The newspaper story was based on a report published by the federal government-owned News Agency of Nigeria, which claimed to have obtained the final report of a prior presidential panel allegedly indicting Magu for being unable to account for the interest generated from the 550 billion naira cash recovered from 2015 to 2020. According to NAN, so the NAN will be the News Agency of Nigeria, the said presidential panel's report titled Final Report of the Presidential Investigation Committee on the EFCC Federal Government Recovered Assets and Finances from May 2015 to May 2020 exposed acts of corruption and money laundering against some EFCC officials, including Magu. Falana's lawyer stated in his letter demanding the retraction of the News Agency of Nigeria story as published by the Lagos-based newspaper within 48 hours. The story was damning against my client because his entire career as a lawyer has been devoted to fighting human rights abuses and corruption in high and low places. Olamide Fusaki stated, in the circumstances, my immediate instruction is to demand that you acknowledge your wrongdoing, expressly admit that what you imputed against my client was false, and apologize for your unprofessionalism and the damage you may have caused. I do hope that you will, within the next 48 hours, comply with this gentlemanly request by publication on the front page of your newspaper. Failing compliance, my instruction is to issue a writ in the tort, that's T-O-R-T, so to issue a writ in the tort of defamation in order to afford you an opportunity to prove what you imputed against my client's character. So this is now lawyer speak, of course, but the short of it, the total summary of it is that they are now linking Femi Falana's name with this Ibrahim Magu situation as well. 28 million naira is the allegation this time around. You remember, of course, that's the one that was alleged against the vice president was what was that, 4 billion naira. So that is now coming down now to 28 million naira. So the need that Falana would have for 28, rather not 48 but 28, the need that Falana would have for 28 million naira, to the point that he would need to put his reputation on the line against a character like Ibrahim Magu, who he knows is a notorious criminal, is something that is subject to debate. So you can debate that, but then of course you can also make in your own determination what veracity or legitimacy you are giving to this story, because it sounds fanciful to me personally. It sounds fanciful on several levels to me, and I shall just chart a few of them. It sounds fanciful, one, because of the amount of money involved. It's like 28 million naira, because Femi Falana has been a senior advocate of Nigeria for as long as I have been an adult. This has been a leading lawyer within the Nigerian space, and there's no career more lucrative than the legal career within the Nigerian space. The only career more lucrative within the Nigerian space than being a lawyer is either being a banker or a politician or both. So really, this guy is already independently wealthy. So and by the way, that's not to say that he is incorruptible. The fact that he is wealthy does not state that he is incorruptible. The fact that he is also a human rights activist does not also state that he is incorruptible. But the amount of money now that this allegation is lingering around is based on is really one that is subject to dismissal, because this just does not add up. You cannot imagine somebody like Femi Falana looking to debase his name with something as lowly as 28 million naira. 28 million naira is a fortune to me. I am speaking for myself. I don't know what your finances are, so you can dismiss it as chicken change, but 28 million naira is not chicken change to me, but it is certainly chicken change, I imagine, but of course, because I'm not his accountant, but 28 million naira should be chicken change to somebody like Femi Falana. So the figures don't add up. And then of course the positioning of Femi Falana within the Nigerian firmament does not align itself as well to this sort of behavior. This is somebody that has been going around all the army barracks fighting for army personnel, lower ranking army personnel that have been mistreated. This is somebody that is fighting for Showore, somebody that is fighting for Shehu Sani, somebody that is fighting for Abiola, somebody that even fought for Buhari when Buhari was in the wilderness and is agitating for the presidency. Remember when he went on a march and Goodluck Jonathan tried to shut him down? It was this same Femi Falana that this same Buhari now, our now despotic Arab-led Fulani dictator. It was this same Femi Falana that Buhari ran to, and Femi Falana went pro bono. Pro bono means free of charge. He went pro bono to the court to get a judgment against the Goodluck Jonathan regime, to insist on the right to demonstrate against the regime, to protest. So the right to protest, of course, is a seminal case which Falana fought on behalf of Buhari. So this is a man of that ilk. So you can't then align that character, that reputation that has been built for over several years. I'm not sure how old Femi Falana is, but I'm pretty certain that he must be in his mid to late 60s, probably early 70s. So a career of 50 years or more cannot now be sold to like 28 million naira. It just does not add up. And if you are a person of reasoning, I'm not saying a man or a woman, I'm saying a person. If you're a person of reasoning and you set aside your usual cynicism or ethnic jingoism and you just look at the facts as it stands, it does not stand to reason that a character and a reputation and a career like Femi Falana's would serve itself up for 28 million naira. Because 28 million naira, whether you like it or not, is chicken change to Femi Falana. It's a fortune to myself. It's a fortune to probably one or two of you listening to me. I'm sure you are all independently wealthy and you are all naira and dollar billionaires and everything, but to myself 28 million naira is a vast amount of money. But I don't think it is a vast amount of money to Femi Falana to the point that he will serve himself up to Ibrahim Magu. And by the way, just to round it up, somebody like Femi Falana would always look at somebody like this guy character Ibrahim Magu with disdain, because Femi Falana is more learned, is more articulate, is more intelligent, is more righteous, and then he will look and is Yoruba as well. I'm sorry to add that coloration, but you if you're a Nigerian, then you would understand as well. But he's all of these things, so he would look at this Ibrahim Magu as a Neanderthal type of a backward sort of a person to be dismissed out of hand. So I cannot imagine that Falana would have any dealings with Ibrahim Magu other than challenging him to court or taking him to court to correct his wayward ways. There's no interaction that can really, in my imagination, go beyond that, to the point that Ibrahim Magu will be handing over 28 million naira to Femi Falana. Conversations in the comment section. What is your reckoning? What are your thinking? What are your thoughts? Come share them with me in the comment section. But before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well, because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done all three, like, subscribe, and the bell notification, then come into the comment section. Come tell me if you believe that this story has or does not have any veracity. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section. But here I say peace.